Gang, gang, gang. What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. I apologize for yesterday's video. I got blocked. I filmed a bunch of videos on Saturday because I knew that following Monday I had to get oral surgery, so I had to get 6 to 8 teeth pulled. I don't know exactly how much it was, but my shit's still fucked up. It's still swollen, but I had to come back and get y'all a video. So I apologize if my energy a little down, you know what I mean? My shit fucked up right now. So I can't be like screaming and shit. My mouth hurt like a motherfucker. As you can see, my face is swollen. You know what I'm saying? Chipmunk face ass. You know what I mean? But I appreciate y'all bearing with me. We're gonna jump right into this video, you did what I'm saying. And as you can see from the thumbnail, it is why America sucks at everything. And yeah, let's see what they're talking about, man. Let's jump into this shit. If you're new to the channel, please hit that button. Join the squad, man. Let's see what's going on. I'm so hungry, bro. I can't even eat real food. Shit sucks.
America is the greatest country on earth. The strongest, the richest, the most powerful country on earth. As an American, I'm sure you've heard that roughly 135 times a year. 235 if you go to public school. 335 if you go to a Christian academy. We're told that Americans have the best lives of any people in the world. That we have low taxes, small government, and the highest living standards on earth. And most inaccurately, that we're the freest. Well, it is partly true. America is the richest country, not just in the world, but in the history of the world. It's really hard to comprehend just how rich we are. We have 18 million people who are millionaires. American households own about $100 trillion in wealth, an almost unthinkable amount of money. Okay, so America is the rich.
I'm about to be one of them 18 million millionaires. You dig what I'm saying? Comment yes if you agree with what I'm saying. Yeah.
Country ever. But there's a curious paradox. Most Americans actually have a much worse standard of living than people who live in poorer countries like Germany or Finland or Britain. But how can that be? That shouldn't make any sense. Well, here's the shitty deal. Americans get significantly worse services because our tax dollars don't fund them. So of course our services are worse, and thus we enjoy less happy lives than people who live in the aforementioned countries. Not that difficult a concept to conceive, really. You get what you pay for, said the cartoon dog to the other cartoon dog. And while you might think the reason American tax dollars don't fund as many services is because we pay lower taxes than other countries, that's not even true. When you add federal, state, local, and sales taxes and include other costs and services that our taxes don't cover but other countries' taxes do, like our uniquely high health insurance premiums, you'll find that Americans actually give away more of their wages than most of the developed world.
Dude, have y'all ever thought about this shit? They tax your paycheck, then you go to the store and pay taxes, and then sometimes some people have to pay taxes at the end of the year. That's 3 different forms of taxes that's hitting our income, bro. They is killing us in taxes, dog. Tax your check, tax you at the store 7%, and then tax you at the end of the year. That's fucking crazy, dog. That's crazy. They eat so much off taxes, dog.
For example, in Canada, for a married worker with 2 kids, all of the previously mentioned costs combined, from taxes to health insurance premiums, make up only 11% of the average wage. In the UK, it's just about 26%. Meanwhile, once you tack on the cost of our outlandish health insurance premiums, you're spending a whopping 43% of your paycheck. That's more than France, Finland, Sweden, and Norway
combined.
What is outplay? You play and
to
it
go
records.
to Canada,
You choose exactly what you want to record, whether it be kills, assists, deaths, wins.
In real reality, Americans keep much less of what we own than in other countries. In other countries, their government takes a bit more tax, but then gives that money back to their citizens in the form of healthcare or job support, or a general safety net for all vulnerable citizens, no matter how dusky they are. So what do Americans get for the money we pay in? Well, sure, we get a crumbling infrastructure, shameful homelessness, and millions of hungry, neglected children, but we also get some of the worst services in the developed world. Again, our healthcare. American healthcare is simultaneously the most expensive, the least efficient, and the least effective healthcare system in the developed world. Hey, the devil's trifecta. And in exchange for this extremely expensive, inefficient healthcare system, what do we get? Well, we get some of the worst health outcomes in the developed world. We have fewer hospital beds per capita than people in Turkey or Brunei. Americans have a lower life expectancy than people in Lebanon or Cuba. And in the Mississippi Delta and much of Appalachia, life expectancy is lower than in Bangladesh. In fact, in 2017, the United Nations sent a commissioner to West Virginia to document what he saw, and he described, quote, third world conditions of absolute poverty, unquote. We even have a higher infant mortality rate than people in Russia and Serbia. In every single metric, America does worse across the board. So why is healthcare so expensive? Because it's so complicated. You have to look for in-network physicians, schedule an established care appointment, beg for coverage from your insurance company that couldn't care less about you, and that's if you're lucky enough to have good insurance. Compare that to Britain and all of those other evil, socialist-like countries where it's simple. Public hospitals provide free treatment to people who need it. That's it. I'll repeat that. Public hospitals provide free treatment to people who need it. And here's the best part. Even though Britain offers healthcare for free, their system is actually a lot cheaper to run than ours. Per capita healthcare spending in the US is almost 3 times what it is in Britain, and almost 5 times what Canadians spend. In fact, Americans spend the most per person of any country in the world for healthcare. But the free market is more efficient, you screech. But in America, private systems often aren't efficient at all. Private drug companies have an incentive to charge whatever they can get away with for pharmaceuticals. In Canada, a carton of insulin costs about 20 bucks. In the US, it costs 300 bucks.
Shit crazy,
and with
bro.
private insurance companies footing the...
My bad to keep pausing, but like, a lot of the people who need insulin are in low poverty areas, you know what I mean? So imagine you don't even have the funds to provide insulin for your child, bro. Your child needs insulin to survive, and you have these companies, these, I don't even know what to call them, bro. Like, they're just dickhead companies, bro. And they get to charge whatever they want, so it takes them a few dollars to make the product. And then they upcharge it by 300% and get to charge $300 for some insulin, and then you sell it to people in low poverty environments, and like, that doesn't make sense, bro. It doesn't cost you that much money to make the product, so why upcharge it to feed your pockets, bro? That's greedy as fuck. And a lot of people are dying because they can't afford this shit, bro. That's just with insulin, dog. That's not even taking account for all the other medication that they upcharge and people can't afford to keep taking. So it's either like you have to pick and choose between your living, where you pay rent, or you survive. So it's either me survive or fucking be homeless, bro. That's crazy, dog. That's crazy.
Hospitals have an incentive to get as much money out of patients as possible too. In 2015, the average cost of an MRI scan in the US was $1,119, but it was only $215 in Australia. Spain, about 181 bucks. And our healthcare system is so inefficient that we spend over 1/3 of our cost on administration. The United States spends significantly more on administration than we spend on preventative or long-term healthcare. That's just not smart. Okay, we get it. We all know that American healthcare is so much more expensive, you say, but that's the cost of having the freest freedom in God's favorite country. Well, guess what? Medical procedures that are totally free in Britain, like giving birth, cost tens of thousands of dollars in the United States. I mean, you want to talk about the cost of freedom. Sadly, because of these high costs, Americans often avoid going to the doctor, something almost half the population say they do.
You expect me to go to the doctor to get a fucking $5,000 bill in the mail? Like, that's
With
crazy,
shoddy
bro.
or non-existent health insurance,
you're
Americans
fucked.
will wait until their conditions force them into the emergency room where treatment is far more expensive. Again, not a smart system. Quite often.
An example. I'm sorry to keep apologizing. This shit just hit home for me. To get the oral surgeon that I just had, was $5,000, bro. $5,000. My insurance covered like 80% of it or some shit, so I only had to pay $1,200 pocket. But come on, bro. Imagine if somebody didn't have insurance, and how they supposed to pay $5,000 to get teeth pulled when they live in paycheck to paycheck? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy.
They end up putting off medical visits and dying. Susan Finley, a 53-year-old Walmart employee in Colorado, got pneumonia and took one day off of work beyond what Walmart's policy allows. So of course Walmart's gonna Walmart, which they did by firing her. Without her job, she lost her nominal health care coverage, she struggled to find new work, and after avoiding a visit to the doctor for flu-like symptoms, she was found dead in her apartment.
They don't give a fuck, they just gonna replace her with another person.
When Americans do manage to get treated, they frequently can't afford it. Simple, life-saving treatments can cost tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars, and if they don't have really good insurance, they're forced to take on medical debt. Tens of millions of Americans owe medical debt, often into the tens of thousands of dollars. Meanwhile, in a country like Britain or Norway, medical debt is almost unheard of. But hey, that's why GoFundMe is such a critical component of American healthcare. 1 in 3 GoFundMe campaigns is now for medical bills. I'll repeat that. 1 in 3 GoFundMe campaigns is now for medical bills. America is such a strong, powerful, rich, and great country that its citizens have to beg strangers on the internet for money so they can get life-saving treatments that are free in the rest of the developed world. But hey, that's just healthcare.
And we all
Americans
know
get terrible deals wherever you go.
But I'm not gonna
Let's
keep pausing.
take work, for example. Americans work longer hours than people in any other rich country in the world, and that's not because they enjoy sleep deprivation and not seeing their families for days at a time. It's because they don't want to starve, or freeze, or die. See, America has the least generous job support programs, the least generous family benefits, and the least generous unemployment benefits of any wealthy country. It's one of the only countries on Earth that doesn't guarantee paid time off for vacations. It doesn't even help provide paid time off for parents who just had a child. And it's not coincidental that we're also one of the most hostile countries to workers' rights. America has one of the lowest unionization rates in the entire world. Maybe this deprivation, our refusal to give people the means to lead a good, dignified life commensurate with how rich our country is, can explain a bit of what we've seen in the United States over the last few decades. Fraying communities, rising rates of depression and suicide, huge numbers of deaths from drug overdoses. These so-called deaths of despair, suicide, drug overdoses, alcoholic liver disease, they're one big reason why American life expectancy has actually started to decline over the last few years. And with such poor conditions, it's not a surprise that poverty is so rampant in the United States. America devotes a smaller percentage of spending on social welfare than any other industrialized economy because, say it with me, socialism is evil. It's evil. Go to Denmark and try telling those happy, healthy families enjoying their paid vacation that their system of government is evil. Guess what? I guarantee they'll know you're an American. But I digress. America also has the highest rate of child poverty of any developed country, and the highest percentage of workers earning significantly less than the national median income. That seems pretty evil to me, especially since such a tiny fraction take as much of your money for themselves and their families as you will let them. All the while, both parties smile and shake hands. Across every single metric, no people accept a worse deal than Americans today. High taxes, high costs of living for next to nothing in return from the government.
Okay.
The most expensive healthcare system for the worst health outcomes. More money taken from workers for the highest rate of child poverty. We are the richest country in the history of the world, but we have fewer miles of high-speed rail than Uzbekistan. We are the greatest country in the world, Yet we have the most people in prison of any country, and the highest incarceration rate as well, and a higher rate of police killings than in Angola and Sudan. America is bad at everything because instead of choosing to make life better for people through a public healthcare system or more generous childcare policies or better public transit or programs that allow people to spend more time with their families, American law is designed and crafted to protect a class of parasitical middleman industries. Instead of using a proportionally tiny piece of the massive amount of the wealth in this country to make people's lives healthier and happier, most of our elected leaders are, and have been for generations, engaged in a massive project of looting, gently and lovingly guiding as much money as possible from working people into the pockets of the well-connected and the ultra-rich. Think about that as we start hearing about the inevitable rise in homelessness, poverty, starvation, and sickness that will occur during these coming months and years in the greatest, strongest, richest, most powerful country on the face of the earth. I'm David Cross for the Gravel Institute.
Good shit, David Cross. That was amazing. Dude. This country is designed to keep the rich rich and the poor poor. They don't want to excel the middle class, so they feel like if they put more money into the community, the rich will lose more money, and then the fucking wage gap will slowly decrease, and then there's like, I don't understand, bro. If the wage gap decreases, then that's just more money that's put back into the community. I don't understand. Like, I feel like it's all gonna balance out. I guess the cost of living will go up significantly, maybe not, but like, if you give more people money, more people will gain in the long run. You know what I'm saying? Like, the more money we get, the more money we'll spend with businesses. So local businesses will thrive, the community will thrive, the economy will thrive. There won't be so many homeless people. In my city alone, bro, if you go to Tampa, there are so many homeless people down there, bro. Some people say homelessness is by choice. Other people say it's by circumstance. It's honestly their situation. It's situational, bro. Some people are lazy and they don't want to get a job, so they just get content with being homeless. But at other times, it's circumstantial, bro. They don't have any means to an end, so all they have is to be homeless, dog. They can't get back on their feet. The economy has shitted on them for so long that they just gave up, dog. They just gave up. And with the whole healthcare shit and the GoFundMe, I know of a girl who she got into an accident and she had to go to GoFundMe for help to raise a fucking $250,000 for her to live comfortably while she's going through all this shit because she can't work. You know what I mean? So like, why does the government put us in a position to have to beg the fucking country, the citizens of this country, to help us out when you can just help us out? You in a position, y'all have trillions of dollars, bro. Just help your citizens out. You see all these other countries thriving, and y'all want to say we're the best country in the world. It don't make sense. It honestly don't. It's kind of devastating and heartbreaking to actually take a step back and realize, because you don't actually think about it because you're living in it. But when somebody put it out there to you, you actually realize, like, damn, this shit is not as sweet as it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? It's the land of the free, but ain't shit free over here. Even freedom of speech is not free. You say some shit the wrong way, you gonna have to pay for that shit, bro. It's so easy to build a jail. It's crazy. And then you gotta pay to get out of fucking jail, dog. It's either you pay with your time or you pay with your money. You know what I'm saying? Either way, you fucking paying. And if you paying with your time, then you losing money. You know what I'm saying? And you losing time with your family. So it's like you lose no matter what. Like, it's crazy, bro. It's so hard to, it's hard, but then it's easy, but then it's hard to run up money over here, because you do have the freedom to choose to be whatever you want to be, but like, at what cost? You know what I mean? I don't know. Get with me. Let me know in the comments how y'all feel. If you from another country, let me know how your country thrive and how if your government take care of you or not. I just want to know how y'all coming. You know what I mean? I apologize that my energy is not through the roof right now. My jaw hurts so bad right now. I can barely open my mouth. But you know what I mean? I can't just. I just can't sit around, bro. I feel so unproductive if I'm just sitting around. And I got so much shit to do, you know what I mean? I took a few days off. My girl wouldn't let me work, you know what I mean? And she was like, no, you gonna lay down. And I still didn't lay down, you know what I mean? So, you know, you gotta listen to your wife at the end of the day. But, yeah, man, let's get these subscribers up to 250. And if I don't post this video today, it'll be out Friday. So, yeah, let me know what y'all think. It'll be out Friday, for sure, for sure. Because they blocked my 6ix9ine reaction. That fucking rat. But, yeah, man. I'll see y'all folks in the next video on Monday. And y'all know the motto, stay up, never stay down. If you stay down, become the devil playground. Never do a lot of playing around. I ain't gonna play around. You feel me? I'll see y'all folks on Monday. Gang.